Welcome to another episode of Savage News presented to you by Savage Time TV. I'm your host, AB Brisley, and we're about to get into it today. I'm going to talk about some unfortunate situation, but there's always some sunshine in the gray skies. Henry Ruggs, that's what I'm going to be talking about today. If you've been under a rock, really, not even under a rock, but most people have heard about Henry Ruggs, Las Vegas wide receiver involved in a fatal crash in Las Vegas. We're going to get into that. Let's get right into it, man. But remember before to like, comment, share, and subscribe. So, let's get right into it, man. Let's get right into it. Henry Ruggs, Las Vegas Raiders receiver, former Alabama receiver, was involved in a crash in Las Vegas at about 3:40 a.m. early Tuesday. Ended up being fatal, not for him, but for the person that he struck. He was driving his Corvette at about 156 miles per hour when he ran into a back of a RAV4. It caught on fire, and the victim's name, Tina Tintor. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Tina Tintor and her dog were killed. I'm hoping that she when she did lose her life, that it was quick. She didn't suffer because the car was on fire. I'm hoping that she didn't have to burn to death or anything like that. I hope it was kind of quick. Yeah, so prayers and condolences out to her families, both the families. And this was just a crazy situation. Ruggs was intoxicated twice past the legal limit of 0.161. So he was clearly having looks like he was having a good time. It was reckless. But I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I've been there, maybe not at twice the legal limit, but I've been driving very fast, maybe when I wasn't supposed to, especially Corvette. He looked like he had the more new Corvette, but I've definitely been in a Corvette and have sped up to 145, 146. I got some friends that can attest to that. I'm not saying it's something to brag about, but I'm saying I definitely know what it's like. And for him to crash into something going that fast, it's amazing that he and his girlfriend only basically walked away with not life devastating injuries, life threatening injuries. His girlfriend was treated for a severe arm injury, and Henry Ruggs was, I think his neck had been injured, but it was nothing life threatening. Uh, this was just a really crazy situation. I remember getting the update on my phone, and I'm like, damn, I'm hoping. I was thinking maybe Henry Ruggs had passed. I was like, dang, this is crazy. But then I saw that he had just crashed into a person, and this woman, Tina Tintor, had died. Of course, he was arrested. He was taken into custody. He's being charged with multiple felonies, including vehicular. I'm fucking this up right now. Vehicular with manslaughter with a vehicle, man. Y'all tell me how to pronounce that. For some reason, I can't pronounce it today. But manslaughter. He's also being charged. They found a loaded gun. They also, of course, he was driving under the influence, or a DUI. So he's facing 2 to 20 years. And it's just crazy because this guy had a promising career in the NFL. He had made it. He had made it to the 1%. He had achieved his dreams. And just like that, his life got flipped upside down. He appeared in court. He was released on $150,000 bond, confined to his home, no alcohol, of course, no driving, of course, he had to surrender his passport. The prosecutors in the case tried to have the bail set at $1 million, but the judge said that's a little bit much. We're going to bump it down to $150,000. They seem to really be coming after him, honestly. Clark County District Attorney Steve Wilson said outside the court that he intends to file a second felony DUI charge against Ruggs related to the injuries to his girlfriend, Kilgo Washington, which I thought was kind of weird just because that's his girlfriend, and I don't think she would charge anything against him, but I guess in the areas of the court they can do that. Um, he's also trying to give him another felony charge for the loaded gun that was found in the car as well. That's never really good. I'm not really familiar with Nevada gun laws, but anytime a loaded gun is found, that's just never good. Uh, this was it's really still crazy to me how this really happened. Uh, or just that it happened anyway. Like, don't get me wrong, a lot of sports athletes are usually found or always in the news for, crashing these crazy fast cars and things like that. But I can't remember the last time there was a crash involving an entertainer or a sports player that resulted in the death of someone. I remember Josh Jacobs, the running back from the same team. He was involved in a crash in Las Vegas, but I think he just like ran into the wall of an airport or something like that. Um, nobody was hurt, but this is just like particularly tragic. Like it's really really crazy because there's so many things going on, and we're gonna get into that a little bit later, especially with like Henry Ruggs and his mental health. But even it says even I even saw where it said that the NFL since 2013, the NFL Players Association has contracted with rideshare services to provide free transportation to members. So even though these guys got all this money, gotta put this into perspective. Henry Ruggs is a millionaire, um, so to pay for an Uber is nothing. Um, and the fact that they can get him for free and he still didn't do it, I'm like, because even me, I've gotten into driving Uber, and I've taken people that were drunk one night. You pick them up, you take them back to their car, and then they drive their car back. So it's like, why didn't he do that? Maybe why didn't his girlfriend just try to get him to not drive? Why didn't she drive? I don't know if they both were intoxicated. I don't know. Uh, it just seemed like man, it just was a lot of bad decisions. And again, Henry Ruggs is only 22 years old. He's a young man. He's still growing up. I can remember when I was 22. Definitely made some wild decisions. You don't know. Sometimes you don't make the best decisions when you're 22. You're so young. Had his whole life in front of him, and it seems like it's definitely about to take a turn. I hope that, man. I'm not saying that he should get the full 20 years. I'm not saying that because you can't replace a life, but it was accidental, and everyone does make mistakes, and second chances should be had. So when it comes to this whole situation, I really send out my condolences to Henry Ruggs, his family, and the victim's family, because this was just a very unfortunate situation. It's just really crazy, and honestly, as a black man, when I saw that, I just thought, damn, this is another thing that they're gonna bring up or hold against us, or just because there's always that element there, especially like Henry Ruggs is black, the woman that he killed was white, um, and I'm not trying to make it into a race thing, but I'm not gonna act like it's not there. I'm not gonna act like that's not doesn't have a part to play or will have a part to play in it. But it's crazy, man, because it's just like it sucks, man. It really sucks because actually, now that I said it, I do remember um, there was a basketball player that a couple this year had gotten into an accident, was supposed to be drafted. I think he went to Duke or Kentucky. I want to say his name was I don't want to get it wrong. I know his last name was Clark, but he crashed and died. And he was young too. He wasn't 22, but I think he was about 19 or 20. And it's just like a message to all you fellas out there, especially my black men out there, man. You have to be careful, and you can't think that you're invincible. You can't think you can't be touched. Because driving a Corvette at 156 miles per hour, that is fast. That is fast. Like you're moving. Like 156 miles per hour, you are moving. It said that the Corvette slowed down to 127 when the airbag deployed. So it seems as if he had seen it maybe last second, and he couldn't swerve out the way. But God, it's just crazy because you're really moving at that time. You're really to be driving at 156 miles per hour. Maybe I don't even think maybe his girlfriend could even say anything because it's like you don't even want to interrupt that person that's driving. Like you don't even want to break their concentration for a second because at that point, any little thing, they could have killed them both. They could have swerved, missed the RAV4, ran into somebody else, or ran into a wall. Who knows? But and the fact that this wasn't even on a highway, this was just like a residential street. Like I don't know if you've ever been out to Las Vegas, but once you kind of get off the strip and get into the residential areas, on the west, especially like Las Vegas, Phoenix, those flat areas you get in the residential areas, you can get streets that go mile, 2 miles, 3 miles down, and it's just straight flat, and you could see all the way down. So maybe that was something that he probably saw. But the fact that this wasn't even on a highway was really wild to me. But another thing I really wanted to talk about that not a lot of people are talking about or that I've seen being covered was Henry Ruggs' mental health, man. In a video, you can be seen. It can be seen he was at the scene and he's just basically sitting on the ground crying. I wouldn't say he was hysterical, but he was sitting there crying, cursing, clearly in distress. His girlfriend was trying to comfort him, trying to make sure he was okay. Meanwhile, their adrenaline had to be going through the roof because, like I said earlier, she had a severe arm injury, so she didn't even feel, must have not even felt it or felt it. I don't know, but was still coaching him like, "Are you gonna? It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be good." And you could just see how much he was distressed. And I say that because it's one thing when a person kills a person on purpose, and they even say that when you kill a person, they'll haunt you. It's something that you have to live with. You'll never be able to shake it off. But that's when you purposely kill it. You purposely kill someone. You had the mentality. You knew that you were going to do it. You did it, and then all those things come. It's a completely other thing when you did not mean to do it. You had no intentions of doing that, but one bad decision led to the life of someone being taken in that way. Because, like I said, man, when he was at the scene, you could see the car on fire. I don't know, man. I really hope that she died very quickly because it would be horrible if she basically burned to death and he had to sit there and just see it. I think that would be terrible. So I think he's definitely right now dealing with extreme guilt. Um, he's dealing with grief right now. Um, I haven't really seen it, but who knows what they're saying about him in the media right now. He was released from the Las Vegas Raiders, of course. So that's over with. But for your life to go from reaching your dream, and I'm going to put that in perspective because not a lot of people, very few people are able to realize their dreams, to be able to actually have a dream, go out, get it, and be able to live it. And he had done that. He had made the NFL. He wasn't a bench warmer. He was getting good playing time. He was a notable player. Like this wasn't no bench warmer, just no name guy. Um, he had completely fulfilled his dreams in 1 second. 1 second, it goes from ultimate high to ultimate low. And I can say when something like that happens for anybody, their mental health will suffer. Um, I even think he should be on suicide watch because of the guilt. He clearly was upset. He was crying at the scene. I know he probably feels terrible. So I want to just again send out condolences to him, man. And I really hope his mental health is good. I really hope his mental health is getting better. I hope it doesn't sink too low. I hope he can come out of this and learn. I know he has a daughter. I just hope he can learn from this and come out on the other side a better person. Things that we can learn from this, man, is just be safe. Be safe, man. Think twice. Think twice when it comes to anything, especially when it comes to when you're driving in that car, going a little too fast, when you've had a little bit too much to drink, smoked a little bit too much. Just be safe, think twice, and slow down. And that doesn't just mean on the miles per hour. It just means slow down, period. Just slow down. Because it can all go left so quick. This guy was really, really on his way in the NFL, and now I doubt he'll ever play in the NFL again. So it's just wild, man. Appreciate what you have. Really appreciate it. And when I say that meaning opportunities. Appreciate every opportunity that you have. Appreciate where you're at, what you're doing right now. Because maybe if he would appreciate it a little bit more, maybe realize really what he had, maybe he wouldn't have took those risks that he took, that resulted in the death of Tina Tintor. It's really unfortunate, but I really hope that he comes out on the other side better. Hope he comes out on the other side learning something. I hope that the victim's family recovers. Hopefully they can be compensated and they receive the justice that they're supposed to receive. I hope Henry Ruggs again comes out on the side great. I don't think he should deserve to get a 20-year sentence or anything like that. But I do think he should have to pay. He should definitely have to pay for what he did, because at the end of the day, a life was lost. I'm not saying he should even have to go to jail for it, but he should definitely have to pay and for what has occurred, because again, this was a very tragic situation. So shout out to, again, man. I can't really say it enough. Condolences to Henry Ruggs' family, man. But this was another episode of Savage News. I'm your host, AB Brisley, and make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.